Booyah! Greetings, effortless beingers. That doesn't really flow as well as body jugglers. This is session number 5, and we got Angela and Deanna here. Several other people couldn't make it because of other life circumstances. I know Yvonne's got her little cat thing going, and Julie has super work stuff from being out of town all week. But you two ladies were here last week, and you both got to do trance processes. Angela, you did a small emotional hook, right?
Yes.
And have you noticed any change in your relationship to this student that you had issues with?
Not really. Not really. I only saw her once this week, so.
Oh, so
yeah.
You haven't had much time to see. Now,
Yeah.
when you think about her, do you notice a change in how you feel internally?
Yes, that I have. I don't feel upset as much inside. Like, I don't feel like I want to punch her when I see her.
That's a good step in the right direction.
No.
Now, do you have any continued resistance to her when you think about her? Is there something we didn't cover last week, or there's still things there?
No, I mean, when I went to class yesterday, it was fine. I didn't have that feeling of tense.
Right. Okay, so number 1, we want to address the internal state that you're creating for yourself. And we've done that, and we've released that tension inside your own body, and that's beautiful. Now, when you do that, very often that will end up affecting the relationship between you and the other person, because sometimes your resistance to another person gives them signals that make them then react again towards you. You know what? You get what I'm saying by that, right?
Yes.
Now, other times, someone is just I don't want to call them like a shitty person or anything, because everybody's got a reason for how they are. But sometimes people are just mean people, or just don't like you, or whatever. And so you doing a balance isn't necessarily going to affect how they act. But what's important, this is of prime importance, is that it will affect how you feel, which is the main thing we want to begin to take control of as we learn to release our emotions and create a state of peace all the time. Okay, so that's awesome. That's successful. Now, this week we're going to bump up to something more challenging. You ready for that?
Yep.
Awesome. And Deanna, you worked with something that was a pretty deep wound as opposed to a light wound, and I should have specified and made sure you were dealing with a small problem. Has that issue come up for you anymore this week? Do you feel like you still have resistance to that trigger?
No, I don't have any resistance to that trigger any longer. I have to say, the next day I felt absolutely useless, and I mentally checked out. I was pretty much a basket case that whole day. I didn't.
The day after you did the release?
Yes.
Okay, so here's what happens when you begin to work with energy, when you begin to work with spiritual processes. I am sure you've done a really tough workout before and been really sore the next day. I'm sure that's happened to you before, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So energy works the same way that physical reality does. Physical reality is just energy, like solidified. And when you release a major emotional thing, you're going to have some sort of detox. And the pain you feel in your body, delayed onset muscle soreness, also called DOMS in physical fitness, everybody gets that and they understand that, right? But when you do a deep physical process, especially if it's cathartic, especially if it really changes stuff, you're going to have the same type of what's the word? I just used it.
Cathartic?
The detox. Because you're releasing, the body is releasing the toxins that it's been carrying, and detox is never pretty. It's never a beautiful thing, you know? But I appreciate you letting me know about that, and as you go through these processes more, it will affect you less unless the next day or days after. Okay.
Well, good. You figure out my head from my ass that day.
Well, I hope it didn't impede your responsibilities too much, but
I didn't work.
Say what?
I was lucky I didn't have to work because I couldn't figure out which way it was up.
Okay, so here's what I want to ask you tonight, and this is your choice. You were supposed to do a small thing just so you could experience the process, and then we were going to jump into a larger thing. You did a pretty large thing last week. So if you want, we can do a small thing this week, or we can jump into a different large thing. Which would you prefer?
The small thing.
Tomorrow.
I have to work tomorrow.
I need a small thing because you have to work. Okay, so we can just flip-flop it. Angela did simple, and you did deep last week. Angela can do deep this week, and you can do simple. And then let me know if you get a lot of detox or fallout tomorrow from the light thing. Then we'll know we just need to schedule your releases around your work schedule so that you can be useless for a day afterward. Everybody detoxes in their own way, right? I've had people throw up after sessions with emotional release stuff or energy stuff. With energy stuff, you're never even talking about ideas or meanings or whatever. You're just literally shifting energy, and they have to then go and throw up. And then with psychological stuff, you're not touching someone, you're not doing energetic stuff, you're just dealing with meaning, and then they still have to go and throw up, okay? You just got to let yourself do whatever you have to do. Like, if you got to barf, you got to barf. If you got to giggle, you got to giggle. If you got to cry, you got to cry. And
I couldn't even feed myself.
Say what?
I said I couldn't even think long enough to feed myself. It was.
Wow. Okay, so we're gonna do a light and gentle one with you tonight, and then we're gonna hopefully we'll have time. We had our technical difficulties. We're gonna do a technique that flips this process. It's the same exact process, but instead of using this process to release pain or resistance or tension between the body and mind, we're going to use the same process to create abundance, to create bliss, to create feelings of wellness and like awesomeness. Okay? Does that sound good?
Yes.
All right. So if Deanna's doing something like relatively light, we're going to go with Deanna first, and then we'll work with you, Angela. If say what something really small, like your anger at the postman.
Yes, that guy. He always gets our mail wrong. This big.
All right. So before we jump in, really quick recap of the tools that we're using, the process we're using. We covered very, very quickly in the beginning. We went over the fact that everything is yin and yang, right? Everything is energy. Energy is always moving. Energy is always changing. There's no such thing as stasis in the universe. Next thing we covered was happiness and sadness, fear and desire, right? Every emotion is a flavor of either fear or desire. We're always averting ourselves. We don't want something to come near us, or we're wanting something. We're trying to possess something, right? Every emotion is a flavor of those two things. And as the Buddha said 2,500 years ago, all suffering comes from aversion and attachment, those two things. Then we talk really briefly about the structure, the anatomy of emotion, what emotion is. And emotion is energy that's trapped between the mind and the body. The mind thinks a thought. The body always tries to manifest and match the state of the thought. So when we have a thought and the meaning is negative, the body assumes a state of negativity. It assumes a state of tension. And all we're doing in this process is we're focusing on what the mental idea, what the meaning is, and then we're allowing the feelings in the body to naturally shift and change. That makes sense, everyone?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So all you got to do is know it's all fear and desire. That's all it is. And both of them are not, like, neither of them can last forever, right? Everything shifts. Everything changes. And all you got to do is trust that process, trust your body's feelings. All right. So before we jump in, quick meditation. Find your spine. Let it float up tall. Close your eyes. Take a deep inhale. With your exhale, let every cell in your body relax and melt. Let anything that needs to wiggle, wiggle. And again, deep inhale, let the body float up like a helium balloon, get bigger, expand. And with the exhale, let every part melt like butter, soft, down. And then one more time, deep inhale. Exhale, relax, letting all of your bones settle into the most natural alignment. Okay, now Deanna, keep your eyes closed. Angela, you can open them or close them. Either way, we're going to work with Deanna right now. Recall that screen in your mind's eye, Deanna, and watch your life play backwards again, the same way we did last week. You're going to watch your life play backwards. For the last few months, last year, however long it takes, to find an image that sticks in the frame, to find an image that you feel an emotional connection, emotional reaction to. If you don't find one in the last few months or last year, go back a little bit further. Let me know when you find an image that sticks in that frame.
I've got one.
Beautiful. And what is the image?
It's Matthew, my boyfriend.
Your boyfriend. And what is the emotion connected to that image?
Frustration.
Frustration. Okay, now, are we going to get you in any trouble talking about your boyfriend here on Google?
No.
Okay, perfect. So this image you have of Matthew, what is he doing? Can you see him actually doing something, or is it an expression? Like, what about that image makes you feel that frustration?
It's him talking.
Him talking. So, like, he talks too much or something? Or...
It's mostly, well, it's pretty much what we argued about this morning before I went to work.
Okay, so tell me this. Is the words that he said, does that make you feel the emotion stronger, or is there an image that makes you feel it stronger?
No, it's the words.
The words. Okay, so instead of focusing on the image, I want you to focus on the words, okay? And reduce the words to as few as possible. Get it down to the shortest sentence you can that makes you feel that frustration the strongest. Let me know when you have it. What sentence encapsulates his perspective the most? And you don't have to say it out loud if it's something you don't want to share. You just need to know what it is.
Okay, I know.
You got it. All right. So that's your trigger. And in this process, we always want to find the trigger that makes us feel the strongest. Sometimes it's going to be visual. Sometimes it's going to be auditory. Sometimes it's going to be kinesthetic. Might be even like scent. Okay? So you're working with audible. You're going to hear, you're going to hold this trigger as we work with this process. Okay? Non-stop, hold that trigger. Keep repeating that sentence in your mind. And I want you to tell me where in your body you feel frustration. How do you know you're feeling frustration? Where's it located?
Well, it's right in my chest.
Okay? And how big is it?
Like the size of an orange.
Okay, beautiful. Now I want you to visualize that orange in your mind. As you hold that trigger, remember him saying what he says, and let that orange begin to spin. Imagine it spinning. Can you feel it spinning?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. As it spins, imagine it getting bigger, and let the edges get softer as it expands. As it expands, you're going to feel it begin to expand one direction more than any other, and I want you to tell me which direction it wants to move.
It's going up.
Follow it as it goes up, and as it moves, imagine it getting softer, lighter, turning into mist. Where is it going to move? Where is it going as it moves up?
It's going through my throat.
Beautiful. Let it move through your throat. And see if it wants to keep going up. Follow it and let me know where it goes.
It's in my nose.
Beautiful. Let it move through your nose. See if it wants to exit there. If not, follow it wherever it wants to go.
It's gone. It left through my nose.
Is it all gone?
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay, so now you're going to come back to the original place, hear that trigger again, and see if you can recreate that feeling of frustration. Can you find it?
No.
Okay, now let's try to imagine it. Try to pretend you could find it.
No.
Ha ha ha, that's awesome. Now change the trigger. See if there's anything else he says that makes you frustrated. Is there any other picture of him that makes you frustrated? Anything else? Any other frustration connected to him?
No.
Okay, I want you to go back to that original space and imagine it as best you can and make it a beautiful, like whatever your favorite color is, make it a beautiful, bright, light color. And as quickly as you can, let that light move through your system and exit the same place it exited. Let me know when it's gone.
It's gone.
Beautiful. See if you can do it one more time and let that energy move through even faster. Uh-huh. Is it gone?
Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And you can open your eyes now and tell me what happened.
Everything was, there was this blush pink.
That was your color?
That was my color.
Nice. Okay, so now when you think about your boyfriend, what's the difference?
Well, there's no frustration there, but it's just, I don't know, it put a smile on my face. It felt good.
I saw that smile, and that's awesome, and that's exactly how we're going to use this shift, right? We can use these patterns to release pain, but we can also use those same patterns to create sensations of awesome bliss, wonderment, you know? And you just did that. Like I literally saw your face like smile, and it was like we were holding the same trigger. It was the exact same idea, but a totally different somatic experience, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Very awesome. Very good work. Give yourself a high five. I'll be really amazed if you have much backlash from that tomorrow.
Goodness.
That was like the most effortless emo trance ever. Okay, are you ready, Angela?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have something large that you know you would like to clear, or do you want to go into the screen and look at your life?
No, I do have something.
You have something. Okay, and is it something you can explain, or is it something you want to keep inside?
No, I can explain it.
Awesome.
Yep.
And just and this is a footnote, okay? A lot of times people want to clear something, but they don't want to talk about it. That's still repression.
Yes.
That's still holding something inside. Now, sometimes you don't want to talk about it because you don't want to offend somebody or, like, you know, whatever, and that makes total sense, and that's why we always respect that. But you need to be willing to let this stuff out in order for this stuff to move. So I'm happy you're willing to share. Tell me what the trigger is.
The trigger is my dad, my biological dad.
Biological father, and what is the emotion connected to that trigger?
Abandonment.
Abandonment. Okay. When you look in your mind's eye, go ahead and close your eyes. When you look in your mind's eye at your father, what makes you feel that abandonment the most? And if it, like just like with Deanna, it might be words that he said, it might be something visually that you saw, it might be a feeling of something he did to you, like touching you or not touching you. What makes you feel that feeling of abandonment the most?
He came to visit me twice years ago, and then he promised he would come back and visit again, and he never has. And he's on my Facebook and everything, but he doesn't I'll send him messages, but he doesn't respond to any of them.
Wow, he's messed up. Okay, so how do you see, like what makes you feel that the most? Is it him promising you to come back? Is it seeing his picture on Facebook? Is it seeing him the last time you saw him? Is it something from earlier in childhood? What makes you feel that feeling the strongest?
The feeling the strongest is seeing him on Facebook responding to my stepsister's stuff, but he doesn't respond to anything that I send to him.
Okay, so in your mind, how do you see it? Do you see like your stepsister's Facebook and that makes you feel it, or do you see your dad's Facebook picture?
So I see what he posts, and then it's, well, you can't even say happy birthday to me. It's not my birthday, but
I know exactly what you mean. Okay, so go ahead and keep your eyes closed for me, and I need you to reduce that to the one thing that makes you feel it the most. One simple thing, because we can't clear it if we have a bunch of scattered things, because the mind's going to keep jumping around. You need to find one thing. It can be words, it can be an image, it can be sound, it can be a sensation. What makes you feel it the strongest?
the last time I saw him in,
And what was he doing? What do you remember?
he gave me a hug and said he would see me later.
I'll see you later. Is there anything that makes you feel that abandonment more than him saying, I'll see you later?
Him driving away.
Okay, so you can see the car going away. That makes you feel it the strongest.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Your father in the car driving away from you is your trigger. We're going to hold that in your consciousness, okay? Now, where do you feel abandonment in your body?
In my heart.
In your heart. Beautiful. How big is it? Mm-hmm. Let it be as big as it is. It might even be bigger than your body. Deanna, don't touch her for me because we're working with sensation and that's going to distract. I appreciate the love. Where does that feeling live and how big is it?
It's the size of a ball.
Like a basketball.
Yeah.
Okay. Hold that image of your father driving away and imagine that basketball beginning to spin. Can you feel it spin? Okay. As it spins, let it get bigger and let the edges get softer. And as it expands, it's going to go in one direction more than another. Let me know which direction it wants to move.
Up.
Follow it up. Follow it up as you see your father driving away. Remember him telling you, I'll see you later. Where does it want to go? Where's it moving?
Out my mouth.
Let it move out your mouth. Let your mouth make any sounds that it needs to help it go. Visualize it leaving. Feel all of it emptying. Let your body do any movements that will help it. Let anything that needs to happen, happen. Let me know when it's all gone.
It's all good.
Beautiful. Okay, now we're going to see that car, see your father driving away again, and try to find that original abandonment feeling again. Let me know when you can find it. I'll see you later.
Yeah, I got it.
Got it? Okay, beautiful. Find the edges. How big is it? And let it start spinning. As it spins, it's going to get bigger. It's all going to happen easier this time because you've already witnessed it. It might move in a different direction, but it'll probably go in the same direction. Just let it go wherever it wants to go. Tell me where it's moving.
Out the side of my shoulder.
Beautiful. Let it go out there. Follow it. Let every piece move. Let every meaning that you've created around your father exit along with the sensations. And let me know when it's gone.
It's gone.
Beautiful. Now again, we're going to come back to that car. I'll see you later. See if you can find that feeling of abandonment again. We do this as many times as we have to clear the channel.
It's the size of a grape this time.
Beautiful. It's getting smaller. And it's going to move even faster. Let it spin. As it spins, let it get bigger and follow it. It might go a different direction or the same direction. Let me know where it goes.
It's in my stomach.
Okay, beautiful. See where it wants to go, or if it wants to exit there.
It's going up my back.
Let it go. Visualize it go. Feel it pouring out. Let me know when it's gone.
It's gone.
Beautiful. Okay, now let's say what?
It's like the car went through my back.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so now come back to that car. I'll see you later. See if you can find abandonment anywhere. Look for it.
No, I can't.
That's awesome. See if you can imagine it. Can you recreate it? Can you pretend?
All I see is like a sand color. That's it.
Ah, nice. Now change the trigger. Let's see if we can find anything else. Anything else he's done? Any other words he said? Your sister's Facebook. What like if you see your sister's Facebook and you see him talking to your sister, does that make you feel it?
No.
Awesome. And imagine Christmas time. Christmas is coming, and he doesn't show up. Does that make you feel it?
No.
That's awesome. See if there's anything else you've experienced in your life, anything else he's done, any look he's given you, anything else he said that can make you find that feeling.
I can't even picture his face anymore.
He might not be happy about that, but I am.
Like I'm trying to like picture his face, and it's not there. All I can see is his blue police uniform, the back of it.
And are there any feelings connected to that police uniform?
No.
Nice. Okay, so now we're going to do what we did with Deanna. I want you to imagine that you could feel it, but this time you're going to do it with your favorite color of light. You're going to do the same process. See that car driving away. I'll see you later, and let that light flow through your system in any direction it wants to. Let me know where it goes.
Goes in my throat.
Okay, and where does it want to exit?
Through the top of my head.
Beautiful. Let it pour out. And let me know when it's gone.
It's changing color.
Nice. What color is it changing to?
It went from orange to red, and now it's kind of like a light purple.
Let all that beautiful purple exit out.
It's gone.
Is it gone? Nice. Okay, so now we're going to do it one more time. Color might be the same, might be a different color. You're going to imagine you could feel that same space, your favorite light, feel it flow through your system as quick as electricity. Let it run through and exit.
Yeah.
Gone?
Yeah.
Awesome. Whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes and blow your nose. Anything that needs to happen.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Talk about feeling to puke.
Yeah.
All right, you might need to, and you got to let that happen. So that was awesome. Tell me about what happened internally for you.
Oh, I felt sick to my stomach, like seriously sick to my stomach.
Now? Well, if you got to go puke. But are you talking like
Kept
you were?
burping.
She was.
No, I just kept burping, like burping it out. Literally.
She was burping.
Burping it out.
Right. No, it's awesome. And so were you sick to your stomach while you were going through it?
Yeah,
And then how do you feel now?
better.
Good.
A little better.
Good. And so what do you think happened?
That I was able to, I've never been able to go back to that and let it be okay and let it go.
Right.
Never been able to do that.
Right.
Or just, if I scroll through Facebook, I just don't even look I don't even look anymore. But I've never dealt with it. I've always just pushed it aside, but never dealt with it.
Exactly. And that's key to emotional freedom, is learning that all repression does is it puts it in your bag on your backpack. And
Yes.
and now you carry it with you. And every time life does anything that reminds you of it, it's going to get heavier again. Right? All
Yes.
you did was stayed present with it and allowed your body to accept the idea. And it's really important to understand that what you were accepting was not your father himself. You were accepting the meanings that you created around your father.
Yes.
Once your body accepts that meaning, it's no longer afraid. It no longer has to resist that meaning. And once your body doesn't resist that meaning, the mind has no reason to hold on to it, which is why you couldn't even see his face, which I just love that. Like, that's awesome. So,
Like, even if I think about it, I still can't picture his face. Like, it's like the circle and there's nothing, it's
Nothing
white.
there.
It's white.
I love it. That's beautiful. And Tim, you can put his image back in there if he ever, earns, whatever it takes to like have someone be inside your mind. But until he does earn that, don't let him take up your mind. It's not about you, it's about him, Very, very, very good job. And so we actually have time now to see how this process, this exact same process, can create new awesome feelings and experiences as opposed to just releasing pain from the past. You guys both ready to do that?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. So what we're going to do is I want you both to take a second, close your eyes, and I want you to imagine in your life if there was something that you could do or be or achieve that would make you the happiest, what it would be. If it's an achievement, if it's a possession, if it's a feeling, a sensation, an experience, like whatever it is in your life, what would that thing be? Let me know when you both have that idea.
I have it.
Good. Got it. Okay, that's going to be your trigger, okay? So now what we're going to do is you're going to imagine your mind as a constellation. All these different pieces, heavenly bodies. You got stars, you got planets. All of those things represent different aspects of you in this moment in space and time. And now I want you to imagine that constellation, that little solar system getting even bigger. And all of the other things that are outside of that are in different places in space and time. And I want both of you to imagine that there are infinite numbers of you throughout the universe at this very moment. And each one of those versions of you is having every different type of experience you could imagine. I want you to hone in on that one planet, on that one star that has achieved or possessed or felt that thing that you want to feel. And I want you to allow your mind to move into that planet, star, however you see it. And I want you to watch that version of yourself from behind, doing or having whatever that thing is. as you watch this experience, as you watch this other version of you doing that thing, I want you to allow every feeling you have in your body to happen. I want you to allow every movement to take place, any sounds that need to happen, any gestures, let them happen as you watch this other version of you doing, having, experiencing that thing that would make you the happiest. Now I want you to let yourself merge with that self and feel the experience of having or doing that thing, and let it be as visceral as you can. Let every sensation move, whether they're good, whether they're bad. They're just sensations. Let them move, follow them, let them exit. Completely merge with that version of you that has achieved what you desire. Allow their experience and their wisdom to become one with you. Allow yourself to have that possession, that achievement, that feeling. Now, with that possession, with that achievement, with that feeling, how is that experience going to affect your life right now in current time and space? Imagine that and allow yourself to feel those feelings. Let that vision complete itself. Gently pull yourself back from that star, that planet, that door, that portal that took you in, and come back to your own center in this space and time, and thank that other version of yourself for sharing their wisdom, their experience with you. And whenever you're ready, come back to this world. Gently open your eyes, let your body stretch. All right, story time. Who wants to go first?
Oh, I'll go first.
Tell us what happened.
So, what I've always wanted for the longest time is my own art therapy studio to work with kids with art therapy. So that's what my visualization was having that and being successful with that. So stepping out and looking in, I could feel my heart racing. So, and then merging into it, I was very excited, extremely excited inside, and I could feel my heart just pounding. And then the feeling of accomplishment was like a real big thing for me. And stepping back, I didn't want to step back out of it.
It's okay. You can go back whenever you like, hon.
So, but stepping back out of it, I just felt as if I could still reach in there.
Yes, yes. And as you begin to play with the ability to do this, you will have to go back there to create that experience, but eventually you'll be able to bring that, not only the feeling back, you'll actually be able to bring wisdom and knowledge back that you didn't have before. And like, that's for real. That's for real. When you came and you saw how your life would be different with that experience, what happened for you?
It seemed like an enlightenment for me.
Mm-hmm.
I seemed lighter.
Nice.
If that makes sense.
It does. It does. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing. And Deanna, what happened for you?
I had my own restaurant and a little baby. Oh, I had everything. I had everything.
And what was it like witnessing it as opposed to stepping into it?
Witnessing it was a little bit of disbelief, but then stepping into it was like, yeah, this is great. This is exactly what I want.
Nice. Nice. And did you notice any shift with your life, imagining coming back with that experience and that awareness? Did anything change in the idea of the future of your life?
Mostly the feeling of I felt that it was like foretelling of the future. Just
Mm-hmm.
like it's gonna happen. I had very positive hopes.
Beautiful. Okay, so that process is called quantum jumping, and it was created by a guy that studied, he actually was a Silva mind control teacher for a long time. Silva mind control was my very first experience into like active meditation, meaning using meditation to create changes in yourself as opposed to just zenning out. And the first way that I used it, I never even took the guy's program because I did enough Silva to know how things work. He described the process. I knew how to do it. I was trying to, I've been working on learning the piano for a long time, and I was learning the scales, and I could do the scales with one hand, and I could do the scales with the other hand, but I could not do the scales together with both hands. It always screwed up. I went in, visited the version of myself that's a master composer. I literally watched myself playing the piano in this big, gorgeous room with these huge windows, stepped into my body, saw it playing. It was maybe a 15-minute meditation. I came out, I sat down at the keyboard and played the scales, both hands, effortlessly.
Oh,
Okay?
wow. Nice.
This is not new age frou-frou games. This is literally like peeling the veil back of what is reality and stepping into a new way of experiencing energy and experiencing knowledge and experiencing truth. It literally changed my ability to play the scales in 15 minutes, okay? You can do this with anything. You can do it with skills, you can do it with feelings, you can do it with memories, you can do it with whatever. But if you guys look at it, and when you watch, if you watch the video again, you'll see it's the exact same process.
Yeah.
The exact same process. Find the trigger, imagine stuff connected to it, feel whatever you feel, and then stuff ends up being different. It's like I can't explain how or why it works. It's like magic, and I don't really care as long as it does work. So Trance is an incredible tool for changing your internal state in relation to anything, okay? And I'm still discovering new ways that process can be used. It's become so automatic for me, I don't even think about it. I Trance stuff like just as my way of processing. So as I'm experiencing an emotion, I find the trigger, what makes me feel it the most. I follow it. It goes through my system. It exits. And then I never get any baggage. I never have to Trance anything in the past. You know what I'm saying? And then the quantum jumping I used constantly to tap into wisdom. I typically use it for wisdom more than like experiences or whatever. I use it to tap into wisdom that I wish that I had right now, that I don't have time to go and read a book. Or a skill like playing the piano that it takes a lot of time to get the muscle memory of doing it. It's the exact same process, and I appreciate you guys' willingness to play, and I love how visceral you guys' stories are. Like you're always very clear with what's going on inside, and that makes it very easy for me to help you guys change and shift those experiences. So very, very, very awesome work. Deanna, let me know what tomorrow feels like for you. We want to know what your backlash, what your I don't know why it's so hard for me to remember the word detox tonight, but we want to see your detox. And Angela, let me know if you have any detox. I don't think you will. You cleared that really fast for the level of like what that was. That I had abandonment issues with my father and my mother for many, many years, and rightfully so. And have released those a long time ago, and I love both of them dearly. Have no pain in myself connected to the idea of whether they cared about me or not, right? Because it was my own meanings.
Yeah.
And Deanna, I know you got deep stuff connected to your mother that I want to help you do with this process, and if we have to do that at a later date, just you and I or whatever, like let's take care of that because that's important stuff. And ideally, you need to clear that stuff before you become a mommy.
Yes, that's true.
You want to get that parental baggage out of the way before you have your own children, because otherwise that's where that energy is going to go, and you're going to
Yeah, absolutely. I have to, yeah.
Awesome. Do either of you have any questions about any of the stuff we covered and went through and released this evening?
No, but I am going to do some emo trance before my exam on Monday. I have a huge exam on Monday. So, and that's very stressful for me because I just have to be perfect at it, and I have to remember that I'm not.
Right. Perfection is an idea, and stress will only decrease your performance.
Exactly. So I am going to practice that before my exam on Monday.
And okay, so here's an important caveat, and I'm really glad you mentioned that. And this is the easy way to create the distinction between the two. So you have a test coming up, and you can feel tension in your body for that. You totally can emo trance for the future. You can do that. But typically, emo trance is used for the past. It's used for things that you've already experienced and are carrying, whereas quantum jumping works really good for the future. So what I would suggest for you to do is to emo trance at first to release any tension, any resistance you can still feel in your mind or body related to this test.
Yeah.
Then quantum jump it. Jump into the future and imagine the smartest you that's the best expert at whatever this subject is. Visualize them taking the test. Visualize them getting that grade. Visualize the feeling of that grade and allow that to become your reality.
Yep.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
But use both of them. Use emo trance to release the tension, then use quantum jumping to create the state that you do want to experience. And that's a good way to see it, is like attachment and desire, right? Like, so we want to use emo trance to release from whatever attachments that we have, and then we want to use quantum jumping to create whatever desires that we have, to create a space of that experience. Very often, once you create, and I've done this meditation with people, you want a new car really bad and you can't stop thinking about a new car. If you do a meditation just like you guys did and imagine having the car, smelling the leather, seeing people envy you, like whatever it is that's connected to that thing, when you're done with that process, you literally don't feel any desire for the car. The same way you don't feel any desire for food that you already ate. You know, like I just ate and I'm full. I'm not sitting here wishing that I had food because I'm already full. I've gotten that satiation. You know what I'm saying? That's a very, very real experience, and it works every single time. Desire is just about imagining something that you don't have. But once you allow yourself to have that experience internally, the external literally doesn't matter. Everybody got it? Everybody on board?
Got it.
Good.
Booyah! Super awesome magic tonight. I know Deanna's got to go. We hit on the mark. I think we're 3 minutes late, even coming in late with our technical difficulties. Awesome work. Love you guys. Next week, we're going to shift into voice dialogue, which is learning how to allow your archetypes, all the different aspects of your personality, to express themselves clearly and succinctly, and the same kind of magic's going to happen. So,
Perfect.
Cool.
don't miss it. Don't miss it. I love you girls. Great work, and we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
That was really good. It was very good. Glad.